skipping, unfortunately. If you want to swap that out, I don't mind taking us through the intro, but it is skipping quite badly. Welcome, everybody. So awesome to have you. Let me bring up the comments. Oh, there they are. I see so many comments. So let's go. Sheesh, too many to mention. Outer Circle, Unshul, Kilo, Joe, Lilatul, Zulfamni, Talal, Omar, Dinesh, Omar, Draxus, Ruby, welcome. Oh my word, too many to mention. Board Shirt, Aiko, welcome. And there we go. Seanzai, Trader Guy, Jess, Raul. Okay, so the team is in the building. Christian, Crypto Cloud, Almarie, oh my word. Thank you everybody for showing up. Please do drop a like for us on this YouTube video. Help us push the YouTube algorithm.
Jordan, has the mic now?
Yes, sounds better.
Okay.
Do speak a little bit
Let
more?
me know if anything happens. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to Bybit Fight Club.
It's still skipping, unfortunately.
All right, let's do it.
I'm sorry. Okay, so I'll start us off. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jordan. I am an ambassador for Bybit as well as an affiliate and a trader myself. My love comes in scalping, but I also do entertain day trades, and I see myself primarily as an analyst. So trading for me does come secondary to my analysis. If I see a good analysis, I'll trade. I don't sit down to trade unless there is a good analysis. And if you don't know me already, you'll get to know that I wouldn't say stingy, but I'm very heavy on the limitation of risk and the preservation of one's capital. So I hope that I'll be able to help out. What's so awesome is that Brandon and I actually have such differing strategies. I don't know if I've ever met someone whose strategy differs so much to mine. And that's what's so awesome about these kinds of communities, because yes, everyone's strategy is going to be different, and that's what's so important, finding what works for you and letting it be unique, making sure you take the time to back test hundreds of trades, 500 trades, 1,000 trades, and then, you'll start to understand. All right, so let's see. Let me hear from the community. How are you feeling? Yeah, that should be good.
All right, we'll go with this. But yeah, let's let people roll in for a little bit. A SmackDown type environment. it's definitely a little bit friendlier than a SmackDown type environment. But do we want to start with kind of talking about our trading backgrounds? I know you definitely gave a little bit, but what about a story of kind of how you started trading?
Sure. Well, I started trading on my little laptop, basically watching YouTubers, having no community, getting very interested in derivatives. So I started trading spot about 11 years ago, and since then, yeah, I've learned a lot. It's been ups and downs, and I've seen quite a few cycles, and that has given me a little bit of wisdom. And along the way, I did pick up the interest in leverage through some of the bigger YouTubers, and I did, go in the hard way with no community, learn to trade myself, losing money, and basically that's why I'm so passionate about this. I believe that everyone should have a community. Everyone should be brought into this in a nurturing way so that you don't get wrecked ever and you don't lose any hard-earned capital. You end up making a little bit, then compounding that little bit. And yeah, that's basically, our goal here is to break it down. We'll be focusing on certain indicators. This is like a 6-week course that we're currently doing. So yeah, we'll take it bit by bit. And for those of you who don't know Bybit, just do stop us. I do have this all the chat open. So if there's anything you don't know about what we're talking about the exchange, let us know. I mean, I see so many of our community members in the chat, and they will even help you out. That's how knowledgeable the community is and how educational our events are, etc. All right, so I think we're ready to get going. I see people are hopping on. Please do spread the word. Drop the stream in your community. And let me know how you're feeling straight off the bat. Are you bullish? Are you bearish? What's the sentiment? Are you long? Are you short? I need some help with my trades. I'm in quite a few trades, so I'm relying on you guys today to help me where to take profit, what to close, what to keep open. So I hope you're on your best game, and let's get going.
Let's do it. Thanks so much, Jordan. Yeah, I think it's going to be the stream helping us trade more than us helping them trade with so many good people in it. I can share my story while I know we've got you sharing your screen if we want to check out that open that happened about 10 minutes ago. So while we take a look at that and get some first eyes on it, I can tell kind of my 5 minutes of getting started in crypto. So I got started in 2014, not trading, but kind of trading between the currencies. Between Bitcoin was the only one that I was interested in. Only one I could see people that were interested in. Maybe you'd see Litecoin or Zcash every now and then, but Bitcoin to PayPal, Bitcoin to Liberty Reserve on kind of the small programming forums, and just the small profit swap between those. So that's how I got started in crypto. I actually didn't get started trading until about 2016, 2017. I think it's just about how everybody gets started is during a good bull run. We don't see it too often, people entering during the bear run. But I got started definitely similar journey to Jordan. Learning as kind of a younger guy, learning by losing money, and now understanding that it doesn't have to be that way. That you can get a nice, good background before you begin trading. Wow, look at that. I knew we were going to see something like that with the past 3 weeks of it's not too much of a battle as more of a we're helping each other. But yeah, we will obviously be comparing P&Ls. So it's going to be somewhat of a competition, but let's not if one of us does a little bit worse, let's not take it personally. I know Jordan's a little bit more
The
in
way
tune at the
I've been
moment.
seeing it is, it's a battle against the charts. If we win, that's amazing. The charts are always a battle. It's bulls against bears, and you have to be the bull at the right time. You have to be the bear at the right time. If you're just a bear, then how boring is it going to be in the bull market? And the same if you're just a bull. And you know what? I would much rather be part of a team then because these strategies are so different. What you're going to see here is you're going to see two different ways to compound two different amounts of money, and there aren't big amounts of money. We will, I think, in the future do sessions where we start from $10 and we try and make $50, we try and make $100. But the point is that if you have $2,000, you can look at two very different trading strategies and basically learn how to compound in two different ways. And as I say, blend your own trading structure from what you see. And I do believe there is a middle ground possible between our two different strategies.
Yeah, I think time will tell. I think it's going to be really interesting 2 or 3 weeks out. Uh, just how big of a difference there may or may not be between P&Ls. I think you're definitely. I expect you to go very risk averse, and I'm gonna try that, but it doesn't always go as expected. Um, we've already
And that's
got
also nice to see. Yeah.
some bullish and bearish calls in the chat. I'm excited to see that. Um, before we actually go into the S&P, I want to show the Toluna report real quick. Have you heard about the Toluna report?
Yeah. So if you want to share your screen and get into it or just talk.
Yeah, let's do that. Just a few things to get started because this is a really fascinating little study done between Bybit and Toluna, the Crypto Investment Literacy Report. Just as kind of a little bit of an educational background before we get started trading. It's like a 10,500 sample size between 19 different markets. And I can actually drop a link to this after the stream or be in the middle of the stream as well. But we learned quite a few things about the differences between the different generations and how they trade. I believe there was a Bybit blog post that said something like boomers are better crypto traders. They're better holders than the Gen Z and the Gen X. But we actually found a few different things regarding interests and attitudes and just investment styles in general between the different generations. Not too much across countries, across even developed and the non-developed world. But it seems like boomers and the Gen X and Gen Z have quite a different strategy. I actually kind of see this with my parents and people I know. I don't know if Jordan, you have anybody in your family that's a little bit older that you see has a different investment strategy but the time horizon is usually quite a bit longer for those older generations. We saw something like 7 months to 2 years is the more common time horizon for the baby boomer generation versus something like 4 to 6 months for the Gen X and Gen Z. But some pretty interesting findings that came out,
The
and
attention span getting shorter and shorter, like
yeah,
in human
yeah,
beings.
exactly. I think actually my most fascinating, or the thing I'm most interested in is I'm trying to find the stat real quick. It's the difference between the baby boomer generation and Gen X and Gen Z is what people will focus on between generations when they look at a project. So the baby boomer generation looks more into the technicals, so they look in for crypto to be something like tokenomics, which chain the coin is hosted on, versus something more focused on the Gen Z and the Gen X are a little bit more focused on the reputational factors. So that'll be something like the project creator or some of the people that back the project. Um, so that was the biggest thing that absolutely fascinated me was how people do their own research. What do they actually consider? Uh, what do you think about that, Jordan? What do you consider to be more important? Do you think it's the reputational factors or the technicals or a mix?
Yeah, I always say it's definitely a mix. You're going in blind if you're just focusing on one or the other, in my personal opinion. I think you can easily trade. I mean, I've got friends who trade just on candles. They have naked charts, they just trade on the candles on different time frames, no indicators, no fundamentals, nothing. They're profitable, but they've been trading for 12 years. And that's the way of finding your own style. And I would say, sure, what if you're in a hole? You're there focusing on your trend lines and something really bad happens in the media, whether it's for crypto or something really good for the dollar or something like that. And you watch the charts go crazy. I mean, popcorn time jumping up and down, and you just so in the dark whether this, could end up or should end up bullish or bearish, or why the volatility is coming in. And yeah, we can look at so many different sources. We'll bring some up with just economic events. Like even if on TradingView you go straight to, let's say, the Dixie, and right here we can see there's a lightning sign for today. And there it is. Dollar slips but remains near 7-week high. Dollar hovers near 7-week high. Likely to remain firm on prospect of further US rate rises. And then here, more news is where you go to just see exactly what's popping. So yes, I love tracking the US dollar index, and what we can see right now is people are flocking into the dollar. Today has been a red day for the dollar, but everything is just moving into the dollar. And that's what people do when they get a little bit scared. They start selling all their other assets. They start moving back into the dollar because they see it as being the most trustworthy, the most stable currency. Um, and of course, we see Bitcoin going down. We had our little pump today, but it all does kind of depend on the broader markets. And to be honest, it's quite simple to see where the RSI here is. I will be focusing on RSI um, for my little indicator for today. So if you have any interesting little bits on RSI, do drop them in the chat. I see there are so many messages. I'll go into them now. And of course, please do enter the Discord and drop your trade setups. We'll be going into trade setups very shortly. We'll choose 3 trade setups from the users, and we'll go open those trades, and yeah, we'll track them as they go. And of course, we'll give bonuses for juicy trade setups. So please, someone drop the link to the channel, or let me know if I should drop it. And let's have a look. So Dixie pumping S&P 500, which is the tech stocks, as we can see, at critical support right here in the crux between 2 trend lines, which have both been very, very significant on larger time frames. So could give us support, but could also be a little bit deadly here for the tech markets if we had to have a little bit of a dip below this whole cluster of trend lines, which could continue to send us down. This isn't a major dip for this kind of a chart. It is quite healthy, and as we can see, it came down directly to very strong support. So technically all good for now, but still a little bit on the alert zone. As I say, to watch for a move down below all of this kind of resistance. And as we can see, daily RSI right in the middle. So kind of sit on your hands moment on this time frame. But we'll definitely find entries on the 15-minute because things have been going pretty crazy. I mean, I've got coins in long, I've got coins in short. I mean, it's absolutely mad. All right, so moving forward.
Yeah. I guess one little note on that. So at least the fundamentals on that come from our difference in expectation, right? Come from the difference in expectation on the Fed rate hikes from the United States. Um, People kind of were expecting something a little bit lower than what we're looking at now. I believe Wall Street is their predictions have moved up between 5 and 5.25 in terms of rates, just based on those inflation numbers were a little bit higher than expected. So the Fed is going to need to curb that, and it's just a little bit slower moving than we were expecting, and we're most likely going to have to spend a little bit more time at those higher rates. And when rates are higher, we see the stock market start to not necessarily depress, but recess just a little bit. And because the tech stocks and crypto are going to be a little bit more related in terms of that discretionary spending, discretionary investing, it's going to be the first to recess.
Interesting. And we can see here today there has been stuff happening across the global economic markets. Stuff in Europe already gone down, and we can see under forecast. So probably not great, adding to a little bit of the bearish sentiment that's happening now. We had some pump in BTC earlier, but it seems to be turning around a little bit. And we have here in 9 minutes, we see something in Canada, but some stuff happening in the US. We can see the forecasts, and a way you can read this is basically in 9 minutes, you watch what happens here. If it's above the forecast, that's good. If it's below, that's bad, and then you trade that. So that's the reason we're having the stream at this time. It is the New York Stock Exchange Open, and yeah, there is some stuff happening today. So you go from your trading view, from the little lightning bolt, and don't ever sleep on a lightning bolt if you see it, because it basically means it's probably going to be a push in either way and a juicy time to trade. So if you're a noob, a time to sit back and learn, manage your risk even more. And if you're a pro, it's a time to get a little bit cowboy and yeah, have some fun. All right, so is it time to get into trading? Let's have a look.
It absolutely is.
Oh, all right. So let's look at the setups. If users would like to drop into the Discord, let me quickly open the Discord. And boom, Sean, thank you so much. I see users dropping their setups. That's awesome. So let me know if there's any juicy altcoin setups or BTC setups or what's happening. I'm looking for a specific idea that I can enter, and don't be shy. We will give bonuses for these trades, and then you can go trade on them. So let me quickly drop the link. Here it is. You have to be in the Discord first off the bat. All right, so while the users are dropping their trades, we'll have a quick look at the charts and at what I'm currently looking at. As I said, I do need a little bit of assistance from the community. So let's get going. In terms of a routine on a Monday, I can tell you what I do, and it's relatively simple. TA on BTC, TA on DXY, TA on S&P 500, and then I look at Bitcoin dominance, and then I look at total 3, and then I know what's up. I know what's happening with the micro trend, the macro trend, which side I want to play from, and where to go. So I've, of course, already done that, but I would recommend doing it from scratch. So let's have a look at BTC on the daily time frame. We can see that we tested our major trend line of support. So everything actually quite healthy there. We are seeing a higher low kind of structure playing out. Very healthy, and could easily snake back up to catch that 4.236 liquidity again. Would be a very interesting move. I'm not convinced it's going to happen, so I have trades open in with stops in profit, because I feel like if we do bust through this range again, we will move quite quickly through it. Let's have a look at the volume profile for this range, and we can see, very little volume traded up in this range. So on the daily, kind of begging for a pullback down to the POC, where the most value has been traded at the 16,700 level on the daily time frame. This is larger time frame analysis, but it is informing my scalp trades. Okay, so let's skip down to the 4-hour chart, and let's not forget about the RSI. So because RSI is our focus, let's get back to the daily, and we can see that we are still on our journey from our highest level of overbought. We're looking for oversold levels for any kind of real long on the daily, so a swing long. And we can see that patience is where it's at. Money is made waiting. Be a sniper, make your money, or be silly and lose your money. It's that simple. Here was the entry. Boom. There was the long. If you entered there, you're still smiling. You hopefully haven't closed out the whole trade, because we go to 30K and you make a juicy bank. Hopefully you have taken profits at all of these Fibonacci levels, but basically be a sniper, be aware of the daily, and understand here was the short. And you know what? We continue to go up from there. But of course, if you open the short here, your risk is much lower. You could have continued, as I say, always enter low margin. You could have continued to enter into your trade. This is a clear bearish divergence for those who can spot it between the RSI and the price action. So basically, you could have added to your trade, and then boom, now the short is playing out. And these daily bearish divergences can be pretty gnarly. So for those of you who don't know anything about the RSI, it is the relative strength index. It basically tells us the momentum coming in or out of the market. And it is something that I must say I find to be absolutely essential. And let me just show you something if you're not convinced about the RSI. Okay, so this is my BTC USDT trade. We can see very low margin. I'm bringing in low margin, low risk trades. 50x is even low leverage for me, so we're taking it chilled. We can see $37 in profit. And what I want to show you is the beauty of RSI. Okay, so let me make the screens here nice and big. And what I have here is a regular RSI and I have a stochastic RSI. So it's the same indicator. It's actually technically an oscillator, which means that it runs on a fixed volume range. So it's not like price where it can go to infinity or zero or minus infinity. This is actually literally 100 to zero. And we learn the levels. My levels are 70 at the top on the regular RSI, 30 on the bottom. And on my stochastic, you can see I actually push it to 80 and I push it to 20. And it's easy to see on this time frame why. And what I'm going to show you is how to learn to rhyme, or learn to understand when the RSI is rhyming. And here we see an entry. We see that I actually took the entry and I have profited from it. What I want to show you is how often this happens on the 15-minute time frame. And for the new traders, take it slow. But basically what you're looking for is a rhyme between the regular RSI and the stochastic. There it happened. Entry for short, boom, in profit on the 15-minute. And it's that simple to learn. I would not enter trades off one indicator. I'll bring up my 15-minute trading strategy just now. It is three indicators in confluence with the fourth indicator giving you confirmation. But RSI is majorly one of them. And if we go back in time, it catches the longs, it catches the shorts, it does it all for you. Here it is. Boom, a rhyme. Very nice entry. Boom, there's the long on the 15-minute. I hope everybody's following.
I've got
Okay,
a quick
so,
question when you get a chance, Jordan. So what are some of the differences you see across time frames for the RSI? Is there anything that you find a little bit more helpful on the longer time frames or the shorter time frames?
well, what you'd be amazed at is that on the daily, the stochastic is way smoother and way easier to use. So we can see here that the daily stochastic actually helps you with just your trend momentum. Like here, there is space to go down. So yes, we haven't had what we call a full reset yet on our stochastic daily RSI, which would be down to the extreme levels. So that's what we were really looking for. And it can be a case of breaking through the slow moving average, coming up, going back, or this is Bitcoin. We can just go back up to the top. But basically, this would be your ideal long entry. And I'm ready to take profits here. So we're going to take profits on some trades, and then hopefully we'll have some setups for some new trades, and we'll have a look at why I'm going to take profits on some trades and why I'm going to leave some trades open, why I believe some alts are a little bit weaker, some are looking a little bit stronger. I would say in general, well, let's have a look. So for me, when I'm looking at altcoin strength, I look at the total 3, and here's the RSI so we can see there's a heavy resistance there. This can also mean that we can break through this on the RSI back up to these levels. That does obviously happen, but we can see that the alts are now taking a bit of a beating from the top back down to where we would have our sniper long entries. And let's have a look at the chart. So there it is, altcoins, it looks like have found the resistance right there. We can see that it's a super significant level from previous support and resistance. Very easy to track. And right now they have come almost down to our POC on the daily. We can see why this POC is so important. Basically sends us moving in either direction. And basically what we want to worry about here, if we want to worry about anything on limiting risk on altcoins, is basically, let me zoom out for you. This is a big pattern. Big pattern, very significant lines. And as we've seen, this could easily just be a move back into this pattern. And that means alts could really suffer. So it's very important to keep track. You can do the total 1, the total 2, the total 3. You can even just do, let's have a look at BTC dominance. And this chart really behaves. So it's a really nice chart for you to look at if you are quite new to crypto. It's quite important to understand. But basically, this is Bitcoin against everything else. And I do have a little cheat sheet here for you that I'll show you, which really helps out to understand, trend. I know that Brandon, his strategy does work a lot on trend, so I'm sure there's something involved with BTCD. But basically learn this like the back of your hand so that you can know it in your intuition, because it is actually a little bit counterintuitive. But what we see here on BTCD is, very tame TA. So 2 very nice channels and also a very nice range. We could see a push from BTC in dominance all the way up to the top of the range, before coming back down. RSI on the daily right in the middle. But basically, so let's have a look according to the cheat sheet for those of you who haven't done it. If we look at, say, which session are we going to trade? Are we going to trade the daily? Are we going to trade just for 30 minutes? But basically, let's do it for the daily now, as if we were sitting down to open a trade for, say, 12 to 24 hours. Let's have a look at the candle, and we can see just how zoomed in these candles are. But basically, we have had a green candle in the BTC dominance. So we go to our cheat sheet, and we have seen BTCD increasing slightly. And we look at BTC, we can quickly see that BTC is actually slightly up. Slightly up. So increasing, BTC increasing, alts a little bit down. And it is kind of like a cheat sheet, but just become aware, because basically what you're looking for, decrease fast, you have to be aware of. Increase fast, you have to be aware of. So if your BTC dominance is decreasing and Bitcoin is increasing, that's when you open longs on the alts. If BTCD is increasing while BTC is decreasing, you better be ready to short. And that's what happened when I did open some of the pretty gnarly shorts that I've got going now. All right, so let's get into the chat. Take a look at STX. Let's do that, Israel. You rock. All right, so I need a little bit of help with my trades. Brandon, let me know if you want to say anything now, or should I get into my trades?
I say we take a look at this one first.
At STX.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so as you can see, I went a little bit nuts opening up some trades for the session. And yeah, luckily things went my way. It's not always like that. Of course, you have to be prepared to take the opposite side of your win rate, to take losses, etc. And it's not always smooth sailing. But you can see I have here, from one glance, quite a few trades open. And immediately we need to learn to be able to see where there's a stop loss, where there's a take profit, where there's not. Immediately here we can see everything has a stop loss. And here I'm missing a take profit, because you know what? I actually don't even want to close that trade right now, and it's all good. It's an ADA trade, and I have enough ADA to let it short until that also helps me outperform. In every single one of these trades, you'll notice that my stop is already in profit, so I cannot lose anything on the trade. You'll also notice that my margin is relatively low on all of these trades. That is because I do size it according to my account, And as the account grows, the margin on the trades will get slightly larger. So let's have a look at STX. Let me make my screen nice and big. Okay, so we can see that I took a little bit of a sneaky long here, and it's pretty crazy because this was a cowboy move, 100%. I saw STX pumping and I decided to hop on. It's not my usual strategy, but you know what? When STX was turning around here, I saw a swing failure on this candle. I decided to watch it and I decided, you know what? Let me take a little bit of money. Let me try and make some profit off it. So here you can see that we are $24 in profit. And here is my stop loss. Here is my take profit. Originally, the risk to reward ratio was juicy. And now I'm changing it a little bit. I've left it open for the stream. But basically, what I would like to do is actually close out this trade. And something that I'm going to show you now, which is quite nice. Well, I don't actually need to do it, but if you open a limit order anywhere outside of the spread to close this trade, you can actually just drag it down on a smaller time frame right to the candles and grab it as literally a maker order. So I would usually do that, but for the sake of speed, we're gonna act fast here. This is my take profit, and it's ridiculously high. We could easily go there. Another way to do this would just be, to bring my stop loss and my take profit quite close together. Let me know quickly in the chat, what is the STX TA? Should I close this trade? Let me see if your TA actually aligns with mine. A coin like this could continue pumping, but the fact is that we've made profits at the top of a pump, and that's something never to sleep on. We can see already that this could just become a big wick, a very big wick down to actual candle body resistance back down there. Yeah, we were a bit late on the breakout. So this is a kind of smash your profits trade that I've been a little bit itchy to close. So let's just close that now. Let's see. Give me 1 second. Okay, so let's actually go to this Bitcoin chart here. And you can see daily resistance at the top playing out quite clearly. So here we go. I hope everyone can see a little bit of my 15-minute strategy, the RSI, the parabolic SAR. I'm not going to go into it now. We'll go into it in a future session. And then I use my EMA crosses. And yeah, it would be great to look at the 50-day EMA across a couple of the alts. We could maybe even do that now. I know we are running low for time. But basically, if you do want to screenshot that, it's not financial advice, but start to play with it. And we will look at it in detail in future. All right, so here, if I'd like to close this trade, there are several ways to close out a trade. I'm impatient right now. I want my $22. The margin is $29, so it's decent. So I love to just smash it. I know I'm going to pay more in fees, but you know what? I love Bybit, so I'm actually not fussed. I love the business model of Bybit. They only earn off their fees. That's it. They provide you the service. They're not taking anything else. So I have no problem actually paying them 18 cents right now on the $22 that I've earned. And it's that simple. You smash it, you smash your profits, and you look for the next trade. Okay, so let's have a look at the Matic trade. I actually heard a take profit go off just now. So one of my trades did go off just now. Very interesting, but look at this Matic trade. So this is like one of the beautiful ones. And yes, it's not easy to get these, but in a wick on the daily. And what's so nice is if you look at the weekly, you can see that only wick. It's kind of like when you're playing basketball, it's like only net. You really nailed the trade at the top. And you know what? That's what I talk about when I talk about playing from a position of power and strength. And I mean, here, it's nothing but what I've showed you today, one indicator. Look at that. It's just rhyming. It's on the daily time frame. It doesn't get much more simple than that. Of course, all the TA was saying Matic is ready to reverse. We've got swing failure patterns. We've got all of our other indicators in confluence. And, that's why I actually did go in on this one with $40. And now we're at a $60 profit. And you can see my take profit is actually now below the swing low, because I actually am a little bit wary about this coin because it's struggling below the 50-day MA. So if we look at the MA on the 50 here, okay, it's coming towards it. So technically still strong, but I have a sneaky feeling here that Matic might come down to this level. So that's why I've got my take profit a little bit further down. And you know what? Just to secure profits, I'll just bring my stop loss much closer. So if Bitcoin pumps from now, I'll just catch. And if you want to see at all times what you're going to catch, you can just come down to your take profit or your stop loss, and it will clearly show you. My profit at my take profit will be $99. My take profit at my stop loss will be $58. And it's a very easy way to manipulate. And I mean, you could even just take partial profits on this trade now. Very easy. You just go market and you say, okay, I want to close 50% of the quantity. They'll show you that'll be $34. And then you know what? That's already my initial margin off the table. The rest I can just put my stop loss and take profit. You know, that's one strategy right now. So let me know. Ooh, Satter is in the building. Brilliant. Satter is one of our biggest affiliates in South Africa. Boom. And I see the whole group is here. Absolutely awesome. So Satter, if you have anything interesting for us, anything juicy, drop it in the Discord. I know there are very professional traders on this stream, so do not be quiet. And let me know. Here you can see my trades. What should I take profit on? What should I hold? The ADA trade I'm thinking of holding because I think ADA might be looking a little bit weak coming down from the 40 cents level. You can see that we did get a nice entry here. We are $33 in profit. I don't even have a take profit set because, to be honest, we could even see the $26 level. That's like a little bit extreme, but yeah, we'll already stop in profit. And when I talk about the 50-day moving average, we're in trouble here. We're in trouble here. So I can easily take my stop loss in case, you know, what we can also do is wick above this 50-day. So I don't want my stop loss too close. I'm already in profit in the stop loss, but I just want to look a little bit further here, and it'll take a little bit long, but usually what I'll do is I'll set limit orders all the way down to $26, laddering in larger take profit amounts as we go. But basically, let me show you what I would quickly do here. So I'd go take profit on the ADA. We can see here we are already 84% in profit, so we could easily just put 100% take profit or 100% take profit. We can add it, and there it is. And then there we can just drag it according to the candles, according to our, you know, basically how badly we want this profit. We can see a very nice wick here, you know, and support there. So this was resistance broken through, turned into support. That's definitely going to be a level. And we know 33 cents for ADA. I mean, I bought ADA at 33 cents, I think 2 or 3 years ago. 33 cents is a major support level for ADA. So I'm just going to leave my take profit there. And basically what that's like is buying some ADA at the level. I'm actually going to take the profits off that when it hits that take profit, and I'm going to buy some ADA at lower levels to accumulate. And that's what it's about, finding the weak times in the good coins and accumulating them. All right, so I have spoken a lot. There are other trades here. Let's quickly look at the ACH trade before we move on to Brandon. And just let me know. Wow, people are hopping on the stream. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm so glad you're enjoying Sats. A lovely outer circle. Imagine buying the low of the week candle and selling its high. Damn, that's trading authority. Nice. Okay, so seems to be flipping from a short to a long. All right. But yeah, this is quite a nice ACH trade. We can see the margin $20, $35 in profit. It only cost me 7 cents to run the trade so far. So I'm not really, actually, you know what? That 7 cents is in positive P&L because of the side of the funding rate that I'm on. So I actually earned money in this trade, which is really cool. And you know what? Thank you, Bybit, for being so awesome. You know, sometimes you can actually be in profit on a trade, make money on the fees, and you know, how awesome is that? So let me know, is ACH going back up? And it actually does look like it is. And I wanted to keep this trade open, but you know what? I was very tempted to take profits right there, and I'll show you why. When you're watching the 15-minute time frame, look at that 50 MA support, but it's okay. We'll be a little bit more greedy and we'll try take it there. We will try take profits a little bit lower. And you know what? If BTC decides to go a little bit lower, it's never bad to just pull up the BTC chart. Let's look at the 4-hour time frame and just confirm. So we see here now BTC is actually pumping, trying to get through this level, and it's the 3.618 all the way down from 16,000. So extremely significant. And like I say, the next level is straight up to the 4.236, as we've seen here. Choppy ride, but this is basically what it is through this level. Up, down, sure, straight up, down, and then fail below it. If we enter it again, it's going to be up, down, and maybe even a break to the top. So all my stops are there. But look at the POC here on the 4-hour, a break below that, everything goes into heavy profit. And that's why sometimes I don't even like to have a take profit. Always have a stop loss, but sometimes you can leave your take profit. So look at that. This is easy to see what we should be looking at right now. It's very clear that we've got the correct horizontal trend line here, because BTC on the 15-minute just legit turned around to the dollar at that line. And the POC is just giving us everything we need. It's an easy slide back down to 23,500. And yeah, that's the major level that we're looking at right now. So let me quickly go into the Discord. Brandon, I don't know if you want to take over for a little bit.
Yeah, can you tell me how this mic is? Probably not as good.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Sounds awesome.
It's going to have to work. So yeah, while you're checking on those setups, I want to kind of just give a good introduction to my general strategy, because it is, like you said, so different from yours, and it's crazy to see. So let me pull up my chart. Let me present it real quick. But yeah, basically, if anybody is aware of any type of trend following strategy, that's my go-to, kind of an old style 80s trader strategy. But if anybody has any chart requests, pair requests, I can actually run through that pair, and we can take a look. So let me go ahead and bring my chart up on the screen. You'll notice that I have 0 indicators, basically no lines on the chart at the moment. So we can do it from scratch. If anybody has any chart requests, I can do it on a random pair. I can do it on Aptos. Yeah, let's just do it on Aptos, and we're going to move into right on the 4-hour at the moment. Let's move into something like the 1-hour, something moving a little bit quicker for the live stream, and we can actually zoom in even further from there. So one of the first fundamentals of my technicals is I only use horizontal trend lines, which is it's going to be surprising for many. So we're going to start with basically the high of our trading range. We're going to probably focus on these looks like the last 2 to 3 days of highs and lows. We're going to keep everything on the horizontals. We're going to start from the outermost of our range. Now, the first thing we want to do is determine if we're going to keep this in here, the kind of this all of these bottom side shadows, as well as these closes through here. I think we're going to stay away from that at the moment, just because it's not as relevant to our current price action if we're going to keep it in the shorter term. So let's go ahead and throw one right through here. We've got a little bit of confluence on the bottom for right around 1230. On the top side of our range is going to be close to 1293, and that's fine as long as we're trading with a little bit of leverage. Honestly, we don't even need it. But we can go ahead and check that stretch real quick. It's right around, 5% from bottom side shadow to top side shadow. That's perfectly fine. And then the next thing I do is I like to move in a little bit slowly. It looks like we don't have too much in terms of our actual price action. It looks like we've only got one move above 1268 so far. In terms of our current price action, it looks like it's actually quite relevant to what we're going to be looking at. So we're going to keep one horizontal resistance right through here. I actually need to recolor these. Top side red, bottom side yellow. I'm sure Jordan does it a little bit differently, but that's we're going to keep it for moving in the top side or our resistance side of our range. In terms of the bottom side of our range, there's not much we can do, in my opinion, on this time frame. We can actually move into the 30-minute. And it looks like we don't have much through here as well. In terms of the bottom side, it looks like that 1230 is going to stay relevant. And we're just going to keep zooming in. We're going to start at the highest time frame. I know it is still a very short-term trade, starting at the 1-hour and not even considering the daily or anything. But we're looking for something that we can move on today and probably get out of today as well. But if we're on the 30-minute, it's just going to be a little bit of a wait. We might be sitting around for a few hours, which is fine. We can set alerts. So same on the bottom side, move up to those the bottom side closes, and it's not much of a move. So we're going to keep those as they are. What we're looking at right now is probably going to be any type of big move through this resistance. I personally, and I'm curious on Jordan's opinion on this. A lot of my strategy does focus on closes. So I'm very curious. What is your opinion on trading on kind of absolute price movement as soon as you see a break above? Say you're trading on psychological resistances. It's $50. As soon as you see a break above $50, you trade that versus waiting for a candlestick close. What is your opinion?
Yeah, 100%. For me, I trade at extreme levels of support or resistance. So I always try to trade from outside of the range on either extreme. And I always enter with, limited margin. And when I see confirmations, so breaks of EMAs, candle closes, etc., that's where I might decide to even add to my trade.
Yeah, absolutely. So the way I see it right now is I'm probably going to wait the 9 minutes that are left out of this 30-minute candlestick for this close. We can move in and we can try to jump on it early if we can see. It's like we got 9 minutes left on the 15-minute. We're probably going to have 4 minutes left on the 5 minutes. Waiting for a close above these same levels. Again, looking for any type of confluence between our time frames, starting from the longest time frame of 1 hour, and we're sticking with it all the way through. So it looks like those absolute price levels close to 1265. Was it? Yeah, 1268 is going to be the most relevant at the moment. So we're going to keep moving in. It's at 15, at the 5. The 15 is going red at the moment. It looks like we might be holding that resistance. I don't think I'm going to move into the 1 minute. We've still got 3 minutes left, but what I will do is I'm going to wait for that 3.5 minutes and see if we close above. If we close above, that's going to be an entry for me because let's go ahead and check for a sell target. Now, anything higher than that, and we're looking for absolute right through here at 12.75. Anything above there, we can just start throwing lines up. Here's going to be our first. And then our second is going to be closest to these next dips right through there at 1281. We can go ahead and measure these stretches and see which trade would be worth it. I'm guessing that first resistance would not be as worth it as the second. So let's say we do see it close to maybe 1269, 1270. We're going to see very quick price action after that close if there is enough volume on the chart, which it's large market cap coin. So imagine we will. 0.37, unless we're trading with a decent amount of margin, we're probably going to avoid that. And 0.93, I'm going to stay with this one. And what I like to do in terms of my sell targets, and I've spoken about this before on old streams, but if you're new, I like to keep it just a little bit below any of our obvious sell targets. So obvious is going to be something close to that previous low. So right through here at right around 1280 or so, maybe 1281, if we get exact. I'm going to keep it a little bit less just so we can beat out any of those other traders. They're going to be going for that exact same trade. Again, Jordan, I'm curious if you use this strategy or if you use this nice little tip that you keep your sell targets just below an obvious support or resistance, try to beat out other traders.
100%. So for stop loss, I'll always leave a little bit of leeway for wicks, and for take profits, yeah, I'll always try to get in a little bit before, because you don't want to be sitting at the horizontal trend line and then you watch the price come up and then just miss you. So yeah, you find that out. You'll be like, oh, I just missed it time and time again, just missed it. And it's because the whales say, okay, there's the level. Let's just put all of our sells a little bit lower. So yeah, the opposite, long and short, just give yourself a little bit of leeway and just look at your volatility, look at the sizes of your wicks, and just try to understand how much leeway you should give. And of course, always be aware of your liquidation.
Yeah, absolutely. And it doesn't need to be extreme. It doesn't need to be multiple percentage points below those resistances. You keep it 0.1% below, and you're going to be beating out most of those other traders, especially more retail focused traders. Some of the more institutional or the algos might be set up. They might have complete arrays set up around that entire area. So don't have a chance of beating that, but might as well beat out the obvious retail trades, any psychological support or resistances that you see. So on the top side, we're at 12.94. We would set a nice little alert at right around 13, not only for if you're looking to take profit, but also for an open. If we do see a jump straight above 13, we can make a move on that. It looks like we are on 22 seconds. I don't think we're gonna see a move above and a close even on the 5 minutes, and that worries me a little bit because we're not gonna be able to make an entry. But we can keep following this. Are there any trade setups just in case this one doesn't go through? I'm not too opposed to open a short based on this 5-minute reject, which we just did. We'll keep an eye for about 5 more minutes on this. But are there any trade setups that you're seeing, Jordan?
Yeah, so the community is helping us out here. We're scoping a 15-minute boost off the POC on Woo, is what I'm seeing. So if you want to bring up my screen, let's have a look at it. I don't mind entering, even if it's just to show the mechanics of entering and exiting. Oh, there's my screen. Awesome. All right, so here's Woo on the 15-minute time frame. We can see that we are having a nice bounce of support off the POC at 21 cents and a nice pump. We can also see, here comes my diagonal trend line, but there we go. There is some room. There is some room to come up and still be respecting the same trend that we're seeing. Here is obviously Brandon's horizontal trend line coming into play. I would probably have charted it there originally because of this major wick. I like to chart lines at the top of my big wicks. And so Woo, I heard someone saying, let's go long. For a sniper shot, not quite yet. Right now, sniping, I would actually, if I was scalping, I would go short, or I'd be scoping a short. So I think we'll sit on our hands there for right now. We do see that there is on the 15-minute a very clear break through the 50 moving average. And let's have a look here at the daily. Very nice support. So like I said, you can look at all of the alts in terms of this 50-day moving average. It really helps to know when they're remaining bullish, when they're looking bearish. And we can see here, when they go above that 50-day, they tend to be quite strong for quite a while until they come down and threaten to break it and eventually break it, and then they're bearish for quite a while. And this does take a bit of learning when it comes to EMAs, but we are also seeing on the daily, all the signs that a short has played out and actually could continue to do so. So yes, we could see it as a long opportunity. From here, I don't know if I would enter right now. What I would do, to be honest, is I would wait for the daily to come down to here, and then I would enter. So for the sake of time, let's look at a different coin. There were quite a few. I see XEM, XRP, there was APT, LDO, Avalanche, STX. So yeah, so STX we long. So let's just have a look at it and see. Here are some of my favorites also. Oh, it was the Dodo trade that closed out. Oh, STX not even there. Here we can see that STX has pumped 21% over the last 24 hours. So yeah, there could be an opportunity, if anything, to now short this coin after we longed it. And wouldn't that be fun? Because we longed it, we smashed our profits, and now we can short it. So technically here we are in a relatively low risk area on the short. We can see that we did miss the ideal breakdown, but what's happening now could give us the ideal entry. A little bit of a pull up through our slow moving average on the stochastic RSI, back up into the right territory, and then down. So just for the sake mainly of live trading. And of course, I'm going to get into the 15-minute strategy where you knock out the confluence. So just let me know right now who's thinking that they want to actually short this coin. Who else has the idea? Look at that on the 4 hour. I mean, it's begging. And it's begging for a pull down to this 50 on the 4 hour. So 4 hour looking juicy for the short. 1 hour looks like we're still in. 30-minute is where we might get our problems. So stochastic 30-minute needs to reset, but still good in terms of regular RSI. All the way down to the 15-minute, and now this is where I would wait. I would just wait for the 15 minutes and the regular RSI to rhyme for my short, and then I would smash it. And we can see here on the 15-minute, if we break down the 50, below the 50, then yeah, that could be that entry. So I would never say enter a trade willy-nilly, but for the sake of that 4 hour, I will wait 4 hours and I'll keep you updated on what happens. And let me just show you all how easy it is to open a trade, because that's what we're here to do. We're here to live trade. Let me quickly know if there's anything else that looks like a scalp. Okay, 4 hour short. Agreed. Nice. Can rip to 14.4. Oh, that's apt. All right, so here we see a little bit of pump happening, which is really nice if we're looking to short a coin. But basically, this is the 15-minute time frame. You can even, when you're entering, jump to the 5-minute, quickly see what's happening. Jump to the 1 minute, quickly see what's happening. And if you want to be a true sniper, if you can get the 15-minute and the 1 minute to rhyme, it's like the perfect entries. And that's what happened on that Matic entry. It just catches you in the wick, in the daily wick, in the weekly wick. And yeah, you get what you want, basically. So not the ideal entry, but let's do it. So here you can see that I'm on a cross. I'm on a 10x on this asset because it's absolutely crazy. So even a 10x is high on this asset, I must say. And on stochastic, hopefully we're about to see a breakdown here. Hopefully about to see a breakdown on the 1 minute. And you might think it's crazy to trade the 1 minute, but you know what? I like to be deeply in touch with what's happening. And sometimes it's your best bet. And of course, you can just skip between. Auto is a nice function to help you skip between. And we do see, not much confluence between the 15 and the 1 minute, but I usually use the 15-minute and the 4 hour. And right now we can see 4 hours. So let me just open it. So on a market, because we're rushed for time, we can look at our options. We can order quantity of STX or by the cost in USDT or by the value. For simplicity, right now we'll go for the cost of USDT. I am on cross 10x. And yeah, position sizing right now, I would say $20 is enough. We can see our quantity is 215 STX. We can see the value of our trade on a 10x will be $197. Most important, if I've done anything right, you will be clicking this button when you enter your trades, and you will be entering a stop loss no matter where it is, so that you don't get liquidated. But as long as it's there, you will have done me proud and I will be happy. All right, so there's my 50% stop loss. I can only risk $10 on this trade. Very, very important. Enter with a stop, take profit. You can do later. So now that that's there, we got $20. And as I say, I would wait, I would look, but here we go. We can just open the short. And there we go. Our stop loss is right there, limiting our risk on this leverage trade on a pretty gnarly asset that has been pumping and pumping and pumping. So be sure you don't enter trades like this without this stop loss. Also note that my trade is low margin, so that if we keep pumping, I'm not gonna stop sniping that short. If I get stopped out, I'm gonna open the short. If I get stopped out, I'm gonna open the short. And when I catch this coin dumping, then it's gonna be just like that ACH short, right from the top. And yeah, don't get caught with that kind of, don't try and catch a falling knife, etc. But know what you want, know exactly your plan, and stick to it. Trade the plan the trade, and yeah. So basically, take profit. We're looking to pull back on the 4 hour to this 50 moving average. So we can see here right now it's aligning with the 71 cents level, and there are several ways to take profits at that level. The easiest being right here. We just go to our take profit and we look for the 75 cents level, and we can clearly see what our profit will be: 181%, $35. There we can confirm it, and because it's Bybit, the best platform in the world, we can very easily just drag our take profit anywhere we like. Here we see is a big candle, and you know what we talked about, having take profits above, where the candles are. The first take profit that you would want to grab on this trade would literally be here, the bottom of this wick, at the top of this, and you can take profits there just so that you're already in profit, so that you're already in a good place. And this also depends on your risk appetite. But for me, I'm just going to put it a little bit lower. And you know what? When we were talking about stop losses, where to put them, so be aware of your liquidation. Right now, 6.88. So very high up because I'm using cross. We don't have to worry about liquidation. But basically, this stop loss, I would actually just pull up above these wicks, because this is liquidity that's already been reached. And you know what? I would hate to see the price come up, stop me out, and then go and profit down to my take profit. So there it is. It's that easy. We'll leave this right now. We are in 99 cents in loss. As I say, if we come higher up here, I'll just add to my trade, because then our RSI is getting into juicy areas. So there it is. We opened the trade. I would love to open another one. So just let me know what's happening. I see woo, woo, woo. But yeah, I wasn't happy to enter woo. Nice risk to reward. All right. Is this a scalp? STX is bullish. Might not be a good idea. Yes. So as I say, STX could easily just keep pumping. This trade was mostly to show you how easy it is to enter trade, set up your stop, etc. So if you are bullish on this coin, yet shorting it on a strategy, you could very easily just put your stop loss literally here, like pretty much at break even. And then you're not risking anything. Now you've got an amazing risk to reward ratio. So yeah, if it depends on your risk limitation. For me, $30 is fine. I'm already $700 up. So it's all about like where you are, how much you have to risk. And, you know, I didn't even risk what we entered $20. I risked $10. So risk to reward ratio, of course, is what helps you sleep. You know, here we can see it's at least a 1-4. And that's where you should always be sitting. So thank you for that note. For the newbies, very important to note, even if you're scalping, risk to reward all the time. Because basically what that says is you can lose how many trades? 4 trades, and win 1 trade, and then you're in a break even. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so let me quickly have a look at this BTC trade, because I want to know from the group. I see that BTC is pumping now. So should I grab my profits? Here, what I've done is I've put my stop loss just above that 0.386 liquidity that we're right now testing as resistance. So let me know, do you think we're going to break it? Do you think my stop loss is fine there? Do you think we're going to come down to a kind of take profit maybe here? I would say, sure, there we go, 23.3, nice looking take profit. Okay, so let me see if there's something else I wanted to go through. Basically, for entries, as I was saying, of course, if I'm scalping on the 15-minute, I'll use a specific 15-minute strategy. But let me quickly tell you just a few things. So RSI, straight off the bat, my number one indicator, it always lets you know where the power is, where the flow is. And that for me is always first. Then I look at Fibonacci, and we're going to go through these bit by bit in the streams. You know, it's going to be an educative course, but basically then it would be Fibonacci. So for an entry, to make sure that I'm in a juicy zone at the moment for a Fibonacci, for a bounce, for a liquidity level, we'll be going through how to do that. Usually that is between the 0.618 and the 0.786. And of course, we can clearly see that on this chart, which is very nice. My fib levels. Look at this zone. That was like part of the golden zone for confirming the long. And sure, we really did have a long from there. So basically, this is just to emphasize that you always need confluence. You know, even if I'm doing my 15-minute strategy, I'll still find that there's fib zones. I'll still make sure that, okay, these are both in the 15-minute. And then I'll make sure that there's a trend line, like Brandon uses, a horizontal trend line at support, literally right now below me, keeping me up, so that my stop loss is under support, so that you're less likely to get stopped out. And then, thank you, risk to reward ratio. All right, and we'll be going through these. So I can see now Bitcoin looks like it might be coming back down. There's a clear channel here. Should I smash my profits? Should I leave it? I see we are running through time. Let me have a look at the flow. We're doing really well. So let me know if there are any AMA questions for me and Brandon, or if there's anything, Brandon, that you'd like to show on your trading.
Yeah, I'm just finishing setting up my my Aptos position, so I can move over to that to finish it out while people are throwing down their questions. So what I'm doing now is we actually did reject that 12.68. We're looking a little bit bearish in terms of we can move back to the well, actually the 5-minute. Wow. So you can see how we pushed this down right through here. We were actually, I was just looking at it, and we were looking at a close through here, which would have still been a little bit bearish. We can add volume as well. Let's do that real quick. And just see what the traders are doing. And yeah, you can see that we're starting to break down a little bit in terms of any type of volume to push us through. Nothing really in terms of a breakout at the moment. Now, what am I looking at in terms of pulling in my trading range? So you can see for the bottom here, I've pulled down or pulled into 12.59 in terms of any type of sell target on the short side. We're looking at right around 12.52 for a support. So we set our sell target just above that. I've got an alert right now for the top side of this range, which can actually bring this up right through here just to mark it. So if we see any type of break above this area, any type of break below this area or those exact price points, we're going to get an alert and we're going to enter either a short or a long just for a nice quick scalp. In terms of sell target on the short side, just above 12.52. Sell target on the long side, we're going to keep it right close to this 12.80. So just below kind of our rounding top through here on the underside of this formation. So we're looking at this area through here for resistance at 12.81. We're going to keep it just below there to beat out those other traders. So we can go ahead and take a look on the long side. So we'd be looking at any type of move just above here. You can just run a limit to automate that rather than trying to grab it right when it happens and beat out other traders that can click faster. So go ahead and move this up just a little bit. So there's going to be, we're going to have to move our stop in just a second. Profit right around 0.79, throw some leverage on that. In terms of our stop, we can bring it down and just get an optimal risk reward. So maybe right around just above 2.5, 2.60. That works with me. And right around those closes, let's put it just below there. And that's still a risk reward of 2.5 or 2.43, which I'm fine with on the long side. And on the short side, let's go ahead and open one. And we're going to be looking at an entry right around 12.59. Bring our stop down, go for the target first. That's going to be just above that 12.52. That's half a percentage. And where we're going to set our stop, we're going to keep our risk reward probably around that same area, probably around 2.5. Nothing too much to justify that other than our risk reward itself and the fact that we've just made a new low. So those are going to be our two possible positions in terms of the trend following strategy for Aptos on the 5 minutes. I'm guessing some questions have come into the chat. Let's go ahead and take a look at those. So Jordan,
yeah, so we could look at Floki, we could look at Blur, and
I'm thinking about a Floki grid bot.
Okay. Yeah, I actually also want to open. I want to open an Ethereum futures bot. Maybe we'll do it next week. Jordan, please show us an example of how to hedge. Oh my word, James. Okay, so maybe we'll keep that for next time. Hedging is, yeah, one of my absolute favorite strategies. So we'll get into it, but let's keep it simple this time. I think basically, we see here, would you go long on Blur? So let's just have a look because, for me to screen a coin is quite quick.
While you go to that, just a quick announcement that the quiz will take place right after the session ends over in the Discord. So just wait a couple minutes right after the live stream ends. You can move over to the Discord, and it's going to be some basic questions. I think everybody's going to be going to have enough time to get over to there after the quiz or after the end of the stream.
Perfect. So we see here on the 4 hour, yeah, there's a very nice parallel channel. Let's just move it around a little bit. And basically, yep, you could go long if you're trading this parallel channel. You pretty much missed it. So just be fully aware of what I've said when it comes to RSI. Money is made waiting. If you want to enter here, rather don't. If you want to enter here, you've got less risk going on the long. If you want to enter here, you've got less risk going on to the short because the momentum always has to turn around at some point. The bulls or bears will always get tired at some point. Will always be S shapes, whether it's snaking upwards, snaking downwards. We will always see bulls fighting. Bears fighting, bulls fighting, bears fighting, bulls fighting. And at the end of the day, someone does win. But basically, I wouldn't enter because of this 4 hours. So I always like to make my 4 hour and my 15-minute chart rhyme. And as you can see, for me to actually open a trade, I always like to go into profit quickly. That's just how I like to trade. So, there it's saying like you might want to scalp on whatever divergence is happening here right now on the 15-minute RSI. So it's as simple as that. You just sit on your fingers. You can even make your entry ready, or you can put a conditional entry, but you just sit on your fingers and you wait for anomalies. You wait for something weird when it goes up here and you're like, wow, I'm looking at a chart and the RSI is so overbought. You're just like, okay, finally, now I can take my $10. And then you go into profit within 15 minutes and you're just in a position of power for the rest of your 4-hour trade. So no blur to answer your question right now, no blur long. Let's see, we can go through more coins. So let me have a look at apt.
Let's just finish out with apt because we are running into time. I believe our users want to get into that quiz.
Yeah, so apt 15-minute looking like a short. Just if we look at RSI, and yeah, not much confluence there. And understandable. Often we will be in this zone. It's hard to always find trades to enter live. I will get better at this myself, screening many else. But basically, I think next time we'll take a little bit longer to just go through every single alt on the 15-minute time frame, see what's pumping, see what's dumping, see what's breaking trend. But I think, wow, it's been such an awesome session. So I must just say thank you, everybody. And yeah, good luck for the quiz.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jordan. I can't wait for the next one. The next one is going to be this Friday at the same time. So
perfect.
Just move on over to the Discord, and in about 5 minutes, that quiz will be live, and you guys can snatch up some rewards. But yeah, stick around in the Discord all this week. There will be updates about the next stream and what's going to happen then. It's going to be awesome.
Yes. Yeah, and if you don't know, there are lots of ways to earn bonuses. So join all that you can. Look at the Bybit announcement and yeah, join all the links. And thanks again, everybody. See you in the communities. This has been awesome. See you on Friday.
Yeah, let us know.
Oh, remember. Let me say my words. Always play from a position of power and strength. Use a stop loss and don't get wrecked. Thanks again, everybody. It's been such a fun session, and I'm looking forward to the rest of them. It's quite a journey that we're on.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Jordan. Great to end us out on that. Thanks so much, everybody. We will see you Friday. We'll see you in the Discord. Best of luck on the quiz and getting some of those bonuses. Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day.